It is 9:48 on a Tuesday. You are 27. The kitchen is empty. You are tired in the way sleep does not fix. So you open the app. $43.18. A bowl, a side, the fee, the tip. Your finger waits over the total. Then you see it. A second button. Pay in 4. $10.80 today, the rest later. You do not think. You tap. The food arrives. You eat. And nothing happens. That is the part that matters. Nothing happens. Level 1. $43. The next morning you feel fine. Better than fine. You spent $10 and ate a $40 meal. A year ago, you would have stared at that total and closed the app. You would have made eggs. You would have felt the small sting of going without. You don't anymore. Now there is a smoother way. 4 payments. It feels free. It is not free. It is just quiet. The money leaves in pieces, on days you are not watching, in amounts too small to flinch at. That is the design. Not a loan, a feeling. The feeling that you can afford your own life. The sting is gone, and you do not miss it, because the sting was the only thing keeping score. The first one never hurts. That is the first rule. The hook is painless, on purpose. Level 2. $135. A month later, it is shoes. Then a phone case. Then a chair you assemble on the floor at midnight. The average split runs about $135, and you land right on the average, which should worry you, and does not. Each one is small. Each one is for smaller things. None of them feel like spending. They feel like scheduling. There is no moment of paying anymore. The app removed the moment on purpose. A purchase you do not feel is a purchase you repeat. So you repeat it. At work, Marcus shows you his watch. He financed it. He finances everything. Everybody does it, he says. Marcus is 31. He leases the car. He pays for the watch in 4. He splits his lunch in 4. His whole life arrives in equal pieces, and he looks calm. And the calm is what sells you. You don't know it yet, but you are watching your own future order its lunch. That is the second rule. The app does not sell you a thing. It sells you a version of yourself who already owns it. Level 3. 4 open plans. By winter, you have 4. 4 plans, 4 apps, 4 small calendars you keep in your head and nowhere else. One charges Thursday. One charges the 1st. One you have honestly lost. You check a balance and feel relief. Then remember, the relief is borrowed too. About 92 million Americans will use one of these services this year. That is close to 1 in 3 people in the country. You are not strange. You are normal. Normal turned out to be the most expensive thing you ever bought. Your partner asks how much you carry on these. You are at the sink. You do not turn around. You say a little. You do not say 4. You do not say the number because you do not know the number, because the number lives in 4 places on purpose. Not lying. Editing. There is a difference. For a second, you almost say it. The whole number. Out loud. You don't. The water runs. The moment closes. That is the third rule. When your debt has no single address, you stop being able to find it. Level 4. The grocery run. A Saturday in spring. 10:14 in the morning. The grocery store. You are 28 now. Eggs, milk, bread, chicken, coffee. The total is $87, and you have 60 until Friday. A year ago, this was a math problem with an ugly answer. You would have put the chicken back. Today, you do not put anything back. Today, it is a button. Split it. Pay in 4. It feels free. You finance the groceries. You finance the eggs. You eat them in 3 days and pay for them for 6 weeks. 1 in 4 people doing this now finance the food itself. And the number has nearly doubled in 2 years. And you are inside that number, standing under the fluorescent light, holding a carton of eggs, telling yourself, this is temporary. It is not the dinner anymore. It is the dinner after that, and the one after that. The word temporary is the most expensive word you own. Not hunger for food. Hunger for normal. That is the 4th rule. When you finance what you consume, you are renting a life you have already used up. Level 5. The first one you miss. The first one you miss is an accident. You always pay. You are not that kind of person. But the Thursday charge hits a Tuesday balance. The account goes red. The bank takes its fee on top of the app's fee. One small thing becomes two. And now it is three. Almost half the people doing this have paid one late in the past year. You used to think those were other people. You are other people now. This is where it becomes a current, something pulling. And the direction is down. It feels free, right up until the moment it feels like drowning. And there is no line between the two. Marcus stops talking about the watch. You notice. He stops showing you things. One day he leans over and asks if you can spot him 40 until Friday. His face is not embarrassed. It is tired. That is somehow worse. You give him the 40. You put it on a card. That is the fifth rule. Everyone in the river believes they are the only one being pulled. That night you cannot sleep. Maybe this is just how money works now. Maybe you are the only one keeping a list in your head. The small, cold drop each time a charge clears. Maybe the worry is the problem, not the spending. Maybe you are the idiot for counting. Everyone else seems fine. But everyone else is also lying awake, staring at their own ceiling. And you cannot see their ceilings. You almost believe it. Almost. Level 6. The debt no one can see. In the spring, you try to rent a better apartment. The landlord runs your credit. You sit in the small office and wait for the screen to betray you. It does not. The score is fine. The 4 loans do not appear. You feel a wave of relief. And then the relief turns in your stomach, because you understand what it means. You look like someone who can afford this place. You are not. And no one can tell, including the part of you that has been quietly hoping someone, anyone, would finally tell you no. Most of these plans report nothing to the bureaus when you pay on time. 62% of people using them think they are building credit. They are building nothing. The discipline you imagine you are earning is a ghost. The debt is real, and the record is blank. Not invisible, hidden. There is a difference, and the difference is who it protects. You sign the lease. It feels free. That is the 6th rule. A debt that leaves no footprint is the easiest one to keep making. Level 7, $4,000. You add it up once. You promise yourself only once. It lives in 4 places and hides on 4 schedules, but you find all of it. You write it on the back of an envelope because some part of you does not want it in a screen. A little under $4,000. Not a house, not a car, not anything you can point to and say, there. That is what I bought. 4 payments for the dinner. 4 payments for the shoes. 4 payments for the chair you sit in while you make the next 4 payments. $4,000 of a life you already lived, already digested, and are still paying for. More than half the people doing this say they could not make the month work without it. Among parents, it is closer to 2 in 3. Read that again. It is not a tool anymore. It is the floor. Take it away, and you fall. They sold you the ground you stand on, and they can move it whenever they like. There is a woman at your office, older. She is 61. She brings lunch in a bag that has been folded and reused many times. She pays for things by counting them out, slowly, in cash. One afternoon, she sees you flinch at your phone when a charge clears. She does not lecture you. She watches for a second. Then she says one thing. If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it once. And she goes back to her sandwich, like she did not just take the floor out from under you. You sit with that for a long time. Not arrogance, accuracy. That night you go home. Your partner is at the table. You put the envelope down. You turn it so the number faces them. You do not say a little. You say all 4 of them out loud, the way you should have at the sink a year ago. The water is not running this time. There is nothing to hide behind. It is the most expensive sentence you have ever said, and it is the first one that did not cost you anything. Your partner does not yell. Your partner goes quiet, which is worse and better at the same time. Then they pull a chair to your side of the table. The 2 of you look at the same envelope from the same side for the first time in a year. That is the 7th rule. The app gave you a number for every level except the one you were standing on, the last level. Somewhere right now, it is 9:48 on a Tuesday. Someone is 27. Someone is tired and hungry, and the kitchen is empty, staring at a total that reads $43.18. Someone sees the second button, $10.80 today. The rest, later. It feels free. Someone taps it. The food comes. And nothing happens. That is what it counts on. That nothing happens. Not the first time. By the time something does happen, you are too deep in to call it the first anything. Buy now, pay later never changed how it treated you. It smiled the same at $43 and at $4,000. The same soft offer. The same 4 easy pieces. It was never crueler at the bottom than at the top. It did not get worse as you went deeper. You did. A way to feel rich for the length of one dinner and pay for it for the length of your 20s. It does not change at every level. It waits for you to. The dinner was $40. The story you told yourself about it cost $4,000, and you are still hungry.